Well, Exxaro is primarily a coal producer with extensive operations delivering steam coal for export and power station coal to Eskom. In addition, it has a highly profitable minority interest in the Sishen iron ore mine and some smaller heavy minerals interests. Now, Exxaro has a market cap of 61 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 9.6 and a dividend yield of 5%. An alternative for investors seeking coal exposure would be the RMB Coal Exchange Traded Note. Well, we've spoken about Exxaro recently, and you are very sorry that you never invested in the mineral sands operation or believed in the story. I think you had to put apology out to Sipho Nkosi and the team.
Now, I initially thought that the minerals sands businesses was totally worthless, but somehow they managed to inject it into a New York-based company called Tronox, which has got some real market cap. So that's well done.
Listed on the NYSE.
Exactly. Earnings been a bit volatile, but at least there you are. But of course, with Exxaro, coal is the one half of the story. The other half is the big stake, as it has in Sishen iron ore, which has been an absolute screamer in recent years.
Well, but the price of iron ore is under pressure at the moment as we speak. Let's see where you stand on Exxaro versus the coal story.
Yeah, I really very positive on Exxaro. It's, I mean, especially now. I mean, if you're talking about putting it into, measuring analyst picks. I mean, we actually sent out a pick on Exxaro today. I mean, strong support level on Exxaro at around the 170 level. And I mean, you're mentioning Tronox. I mean, you're looking at Tronox listing at least on the NYSE. You're starting to see a pickup in that business. I mean, I think they've got about a 38% stake in that. And I mean, after being initially punished, which gave, I think, investors an opportunity to get in, it looks like it's now recovering.
Well, let's look at these, the share price graph. Paul?
Look, it's risen on two things. Firstly, and most importantly, the rising value of the Sishen interest. Because understand that when they restructured Kumba and Anglo came in and then they brought in Exxaro as the empowerment partner, people hadn't yet seen the extent to which Kumba could expand production, get new customers in Asia, and benefit from a rising iron ore price. So much of that, I think, is that. Although, to be fair, also they've had the awarding of the rights to sell coal for the new Medupi power station up near Ellisras, now known as Lephalale. So, there's a lot positive going on there. For me, though, the coal thing felt a little bit tired, because nobody's building any new coal-fired power stations in the world except us, the Chinese and the Indians. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that's all you need in life is the Chinese, us, and the Indians.
Well, a lot of people are backing the Chinese as the only reasonable player in the world, and they can save the rest of the world. Yeah. Gary, just some further thoughts on this?
Yeah, definitely. Also, yeah, the long-term contracts with Medupi and Eskom, I mean, that's really good for the company. It adds at a defensive quality. And yeah, like you say, I mean, China and India is it's a massive market, and I think Chinese coal demand's forecast to double in the next 10 years. So I mean, you're talking about big demand for the product.
So don't be caught short, Exxaro.
Yeah, I know, yeah, serious. But now I want to talk about the RMB thing, because here we are talking about a company that's got a nice dividend yield, it's got a solid market cap, it trades a lot every day, hundreds of millions. Why would you want to buy the RMB Coal Exchange Traded Note instead of that? Because that thing's got a price fixed fee of like 0.9% per annum. It's got a terrible wide bid and offer spread. The only people who seem to be interested in trading it is the issuer, which is RMB. What could possibly attract you more about that ththing?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I looked at the spread when, I mean, it's perhaps not fair to compare it to the ETNs we're going to look at next, but the spread is very wide on the coal ETN. I believe RMB, if they actually have reduced the size of the contract just to try and allow local investors to invest in it. But if you are looking at doing bigger volumes, I mean, they will narrow that spread and obviously give you much more competitive prices. But again, I mean, it comes down to the fundamental difference between, if you're investing for the long term, you'd rather hold the company, obviously for the dividends, etc. But if you're looking at a temporary spike in the price, that's when you'd go for the ETN.
Yeah.
Hot or not on Exxaro?
I'd say not.
Not hot on Exxaro.
No.
Gary?
Definitely hot.
Definitely hot.
I think an opportunity. I think he'll drop us off 2 weeks above 200.